What do you hope to accomplish here today? You know, we've been in Iraq for 4 years. Protest movement is just as long. Is this still a vehicle that can be used for policy change, in your opinion?
Absolutely. You know, you got to keep on using your voice to demonstrate your feeling about peace and your adversity to this war, particularly war in Iraq. It's a very potent and effective force. And, you know, the fact is that if we don't have these peace marches, then the vast body of people who are against the war but don't come to peace marches get the impression that nobody cares. You can be strong and wrong like the Bush administration is, or you could be perceived to be weak, and even though you're right. And that's what will happen to the peace movement if we're not putting out muscular, active, high-spirited rallies like this one. So it's important to be out here.
Well, I see you got to go, so I'm going to summarize this question as quickly as I can. We were interviewing the counter-protesters earlier, and they definitely gave the distinct impression, you know, they're ready for an indefinite commitment to troops in Iraq. Presuming that's not going to happen, and troops do come out, what responsibility does the U.S. have in the aftermath of that pullout?
Reconstruction and reconciliation, you know, reconstruction, reconciliation. Look, you know, I was in Iraq. How many of them were? I'd like to know that. I was there and walked those streets. You know, the people of Iraq want their country back. They don't want us there. That's the interesting thing about this. It's not as if there are no Iraqis and they don't have any opinions. They have very firm opinions, and they want their country back, like any people on this planet would. So it's time to go. And the U.S. does have an important responsibility in terms of reconstruction, because we have smashed their country. We have ruined their country, and we have a duty to rebuild it. But it has to be with Iraqis rebuilding it, not some highly paid, ineffective contractors. So we need to deal with waste, fraud, and abuse from these American contractors like Halliburton and many others as well.
And last but not least, do you regret your vote earlier this year on the Iraq authorization money, or do you think that still is the right vote given what has happened since then?
It's the right vote.
Okay.
It was the right vote. And it was a tough vote because, you know, I was just talking to a friend of mine about it, and it's like, I wish I would have been able to just say cut the funding, but you know what? You got to get 218 to do anything. So to a certain extent, I know that there's a difference between being a politician and being an activist. An activist, you get to be like that unswerving moral voice. Troops out now, and I agree with them the whole 100%. But when I go into that Congress, I don't get the luxury of that. I've got to join and fit together with 218 people to get a policy that those 218 can all do, and that's a little tougher.
Well, I don't want to let the protest go on
without
you. So thank you so much for your time, Mr.
Every time, man.
Bye-bye.